This one's about the poet, the metaphysical poet, John Donne. Because I was thinking about the poem The Wasteland and the collaborative effort that produced it by T.S. Eliot and Ezra Pound, I was reading a book by Pound, The ABC of Reading. In the course of the book, Pound recommends writers and individual pieces of writing that the reader can consult for edification and entertainment, the literary jackpot. So I was reading along, and Pound favored John Donne, but not all of him, no. In fact, he mentioned only one work, the poem The Ecstasy. And I thought that was very odd that Pound would single out one poem from all that Donne wrote, which was a considerable amount. But then, as history would later show, Pound was quite an odd individual. I'll say eccentric. You can see that also in his book. Still, I thought I should check out The Ecstasy to possibly see why Pound selected it. So I'd be going from The Wasteland to The Ecstasy. Quite a trip. After I read The Ecstasy, I could not say why Pound chose it. It's certainly representative Donne in every way, but I don't know if it's so obviously better. Ecstasy, the name of a popular party drug years ago, is a heightened spiritual state in which the soul leaves the body and merges with the spirit of the Creator. In Donne's poem, it's the souls of the lovers that leave their bodies behind and merge, creating a new soul of their love. And this is a higher form of love. But it's not enough for Donne. He says the bodies must participate in this love too. After all, it was the bodies that first brought the souls together. It's only right that the bodies, like the souls, should merge and complete the love. Oh, that clever John Donne. What a lovely little argument. He wants to get laid, and he practically lays the foundation for a religion in order to do it. I have to admire a mind that is willing and able to be as complicated as that. It's an approach I never considered. Donne is a poet who pops up from time to time. Hemingway chose one of his lines, "For whom the bell tolls," as the title of one of his novels. Ask not for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. I think of that every time I hear an ambulance. John Gunther, the well-known author of books, comprehensive guidebooks about locations in the world, went to Donne when he wrote an account of his young son afflicted with and dying from a terrible and aggressive brain cancer. Death be not proud. I had to read that along with On the Beach when I was a freshman in high school. That must have been fun. Anyway, it is the opening line. It is the opening of one of Donne's holy sonnets. Donne's early work was mostly love poetry, like The Ecstasy. Then he saw the light and produced spiritual works for the rest of his life, both kinds passionate and pointed, filled with his logic and colorful conceits, physics and metaphysics. In the last decade of the last century, Margaret Edson wrote a play, Wit, that went on to win a Pulitzer Prize. It didn't begin that happily. She had sent it out to about 60 theaters without a response. And then a dramaturge in California found something in it, and he and Edson converted it, another collaboration, into a successful one-act play. It's about a dying woman who is a Donne scholar, capable of examining a work down to the detail of a comma, a period, or a semicolon. And this is why the title of the play is often seen as Wit, the word spelled with a semicolon instead of an I. The protagonist never married, had no children or friends, no family, loved only Donne. Her doctors are keeping her alive so they can study the progress of her disease in the face of murderous treatment. They fail to see her as a patient, as she failed to embrace life outside of scholarship. She is in a great deal of pain. A nurse helps her to die, which is merciful, an end to her suffering. I did not like the end of the play. After she dies, she gets up from her bed and walks into a light. I thought it was an add-on, a cheat, and a sentimental one at that, but I must say it is true to the Donne poem that is referred to frequently in the play, the same one Gunther chose, Death Be Not Proud. In it, the soul survives the body, and therefore it is death that dies. I was pleased to learn that Margaret Edson did not lead a life as lonely as the one in the play. She moved to Atlanta, where she taught school and lived with her partner and their 2 children, both boys. As of this moment, she has not written anything besides that play for publication.